Online. Hey everyone. All right, Ted. Okay. Just waiting. We're going to be talking to Aiesha Grierson. Hey, girl. How's it going? Okay, I'm about to add you. Well, I'm about to add you in a minute. Okay. And we're about to go live. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going live with Aiesha Grierson. Okay. This lighting. Hey, Chica.
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to calm myself down. That's what I'm doing right now.
Calm yourself down. Why?
Yes, because the kids let me over. I take my midday nap.
Oh, wow.
And the kids let me oversleep. So now I'm like,
oh, it's their fault. They let you oversleep.
It's their fault.
Okay.
So today, let's just get right into it, girl. I'm just going to hop right on in.
I got you.
So today we are talking to Aiesha Grierson.
Hello,
the
hello,
wonderful,
people.
edgy model. I call it edgy because I just love your style. It's just, It's just edgy. I just love it.
Thank you so much. I think I'll rock with that.
Yes, so she has been in New York Fashion Week, Philly Fashion Week, Drexel University fashion shows, Moore College, their fashion shows. There's art. I think it's called Moore College of Art and Design.
Right.
Their annual fashion shows. She worked with many clothing designers. She's done live exhibits, songs of the Gula.
The Gullah. Songs of the Gullah. Yeah.
And she's worked with many photographers, just such as Vincent Mark, Rue Castro, and of course, Stephen Hudgens.
Stephen Hudgens. You got it. Right. You make it sound like everything all lined up just sounds like such a cool little list of accolades.
I know, but it is because you did it. And
right.
And not to add on the amount of actual, stuff that you actually done besides that, because you've done so much more.
Right. Thank you.
So, and that's just
right there with me. This is
that's just a little bit.
That hustle.
Yes, girl. The hustle is real.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start off with, of course, an icebreaker.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and it's called "Mentally Stimulate Me" by derrickjaxn. And but it's easy. Just a couple questions.
Okay.
I'm not gonna ask the crazy questions. I'll keep it real PG and ask the regular questions.
Okay, because I think my mom is watching, so that would be nice. Thank you.
Okay, good, Mama. We ain't got time. No. All right. So, my mama downstairs. She holding the force down with the kids.
Right.
They know how I get when I'm doing my lives. Like, I better not hear no. So, and then you might see me like, Catrice, why you acting crazy on camera? So we gonna keep it crazy. We gonna keep it chill. All right. So the first question is, all right. Your female friend starts a fight with her boyfriend. She throws a few things at him and then swings on him. One of her punches lands, so he grabs her. What do you do? Stop him. She about to answer. A, stop him. B, jumping into the fight to fight him. Calling 911, or D, nothing. I can't stand you.
And she instigated this, right? She instigated it.
She started it, yes.
Yeah, so this is where my family and friends, we've had this conversation before, and this is where they hate my answer, because I am not ride or die. If you put yourself in that situation, I suggest you know how to get out of it. Now, I'm not going to let somebody pummel you, because I'm a firm believer in the shake. Like, you started all that. So if he decided to grip you up and shake you a little bit, like you're pushing it too far,
Yeah.
I think he's within his right, because you crossed the line already by throwing things at him, putting your hands on him. Like, I'm 50-50 in this. Like, you started that. Why? Why did you use your act? Like, why did you use your hands and not your words? You can't be mad at him for responding with actions. Like, you used actions first. Now, if he gets a little too aggressive, I'm going to try to intervene in some way. I don't know how much I'm going to intervene with my body, because, again, you started this. There's no reason for me to be injured. But I'm going to find a way to break that up if it's too much.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it go too far.
I'm more of the mediator. I've been in situations like that before, but
because it's like, once you see it going that way, you already know you're going to intervene before they hit. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, yo, why you doing all that, sis? Like, find another way. Like, you're going to intervene before it even gets that far.
Exactly.
But if it gets that far, you deserve something because you started that. I'm just saying.
She said you deserve something because you started it. I get it. That's kind of like, yeah, same here. I'm the one that tries to, mediate everything. Like, calm down, everybody. Mm-hmm. Because if I get to a level that I don't want to be at, then that's the problem.
And that's the problem, exactly.
And I don't need to be in those situations. I don't want to be in no jail cell.
Especially if it's not my battle. Like, it's not mine. Why am I fighting for you? Because I'm going to end up caring more. Because that's normally what happens when you care. You care more than they do. Or you do something extra thinking like, this is it. This is the final straw. Boom, we're out. And then they go back and you're just like, oh word? Cool.
Exactly. And that's exactly what always happens. That always happens. They wind up going right back to the person that they're with. And it's like, but he don't like me no more. He don't like me no more.
Exactly. I'm the problem friend now.
We was all hanging out. Now I can't come.
Oh yeah, I'm used to that. That's me. That's why I stay in my lane with it. I'm gonna help you when I can. I'm gonna speak my piece when I notice things. And once it escalates, that's on you, because you allowed that to escalate.
Yes. Girl. So next question.
Yeah.
All right. So, do leggings on a woman are they quality as pants? What kind of
qualify? No, they don't. They do not qualify as pants. No.
No.
Like, if my brother could hear that question, the amount of times we're just like, leggings are not pants. Now, here's where it gets funny. Mm-hmm. I'm guilty of doing it myself. I do it. Mm-hmm. But they're not pants.
I see you more in leggings than I've ever seen you in jeans.
I wear fitness tights because I work at a gym.
Okay, so
I work at a gym. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I wear tights all the time, but at the same time, I still know to call them tights. Like, they're not pants. They're tights.
You know, I just noticed you got your braids in.
Sure do. My little 2 inches of hair. My little 2 inches are now extended to the butt.
I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm looking like, okay, she got her braids in.
It's heavy. This is a workout.
Girl, look, get up and go. I'm so thankful because me rushing just a minute ago, y'all been like, okay, Catrice, we said 7 o'clock.
I was get up and go before, though. This is a lot of work. It's heavy. Like, look at this.
Well, it depends on how much hair you got on your
head.
A lot.
Remember, I'm a bald girl, so the fact that this is gripping, it's a lot.
So you're used to not having so much on your head.
Mm-hmm. Like, I can tell. Like, see, you don't follow my Facebook like that. Like, when I got it, I'm in here trying to do my yoga. And this same bun then toppled me over. My normal poses I can't hold anymore because this bun is just tilting. Like, it's heavy.
Y'all, whatever y'all do, just ignore the background.
I tried to get people on. I went to my other page and tried to announce. They went on Facebook and tried to announce, but we'll see who gets on.
It's all good. It's being saved. So if anybody, make sure you use it for your advantage.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Now, last question, real quick. The one physical quality that must be attractive to you, no matter how good his or her heart is there A, teeth, B, skin, C, shape/build, D, eyes?
That's interesting.
You get this light right.
Because it's like, I want to say eyes, but I feel like that still goes into shape and features. Because for me, something about you has to draw me in, huh?
That must be attractive? The eyes?
something about it has to draw me in, like, because you already said the heart doesn't count, like, so because it would be like how you treat other people, you know what I mean? So if that's not an option for me to say, if I'm going to have to go off of features, something about your face has to draw me in. I'm really into shape and features. Like, I really like angles on people. Like, the faces that I'm most attractive to are super angular, like high cheekbones, strong noses, strong chin, like strong jawlines.
Okay.
I like really symmetrical faces. I can admit that. Like, I really do like symmetrical faces. But
somebody look like they're working out.
Me? I just like my
somebody
workout.
looks like they're working out.
Well, they don't have. Well,
That's
you
what,
know,
that's
yeah.
what
I'm gonna
it's
say they don't have
describing.
to workouts. I guess they do a little bit. You have to be into fitness a little bit. You can't be like lazy. You have to be into fitness. You have to care about your health, your physical health, as well as your mental health. It's important.
Yeah, I think that's.
People get really complacent in their, like, I've seen it. You've seen it. I'm pretty sure. Like, people get really, really comfortable in their 20s and they just stop doing things. And it's like, no.
I don't know about the 20s.
I've seen a lot of people just kind of let go in their 20s nowadays. Like, it's not happening in the 30s. A lot of people are letting go in the 20s.
I don't see it more in your 30s, because that's where we like start really paying attention to, okay, what am I doing and how am I going to get it done? That's like the epiphany of like, okay, we ain't in our 20s no more. We got things we got to do. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
So trying to figure things out, kind of know what you want to do, but at the same time, you're like, I want to explore more. I want to do more. If I haven't lived in my 20s the way I wanted to live, because I was having a conversation with somebody not too long ago, and they were basically saying, like, when it comes to, like, in my 20s, I was like, you might have thought I was 40, the way I dress, the way I act, but early 20s.
I think I was
active.
When you call me edgy now, I was super androgynous in my early 20s. Like, I still love a lot of boy clothes. Like, I love baggy, oversized things. I like to be comfortable. Like, I don't care for a lot of skin tight. I like to be comfy. So even if my clothes are like super sexy, revealing, or edgy, like, if you really look at my clothes, they're all comfy clothes. Like, nothing is tight and uncomfortable. I don't like being uncomfortable. Like, I can't.
Same here.
Even with like my heels and stuff, if you look at the insides of my heels, you'll see like Dr. Scholl's insoles and stuff.
But you really need that as a model, though.
And people don't realize, like, they're sitting there like hurting their feet. I got all types of bunion and corn pads on every single toe, and I make sure if I'm standing in these shoes, I'm going to be comfortable standing in these shoes. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, I agree. That's something that a lot of people need to make sure that you're comfortable when you're walking, your feet, and everything else. Because when you're modeling, you're in shoes all day, especially.
And that's the one thing I refuse. I refuse to wear brand new shoes the day of a show. Like, if I have not walked in those shoes before, like, if the designer gives me a shoe and he's like, I want you to wear these, and I'm like, all right, bet. Let me go practice in the corner right quick. Because if I haven't walked in them shoes, I'm not wearing brand new shoes on the floor. Like, I don't know if I'm a slide. I don't know if I'm a twist. I don't know if the strap is tight enough. If I can wear my shoes, I'm going to wear my shoes.
Same here.
That's why I walk in your shoes.
That's why you bring a whole bunch of shoes. Y'all be looking at me like I'm crazy when I bring my big suitcase full of shoes.
I don't have time. Like, I'm gonna bring some staples. I'll give you a black, a nude. I'm gonna make it work with the black and the nude. Like, I'm gonna make sure it's a different type of platform on each, so you get a feel like I know what I'm doing in my shoes. But I'm not bringing all of them. Like, I have shoes.
I'll be bringing them.
And then I finally started to get into the habit of taking pictures of my shoes. So I'm like, I have these, I have these, I have these. Because if I have to walk with everything, that's a lot of carrying. And now that we're, like, even now, people keep asking me, like, oh, are you still modeling? Are you still going to do this because of COVID? And I'm just like, I don't know. That's a lot of people in my face. That's a lot of people on my body and my hair. Like,
that's true.
I need a lot of super greens before I agree to, like, traveling for work again.
Super greens? You talking about vegetables?
No, I mean everybody in the green states. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the work that I get is still in New York. Like, I'm not going up there. If y'all not in green, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. So as of right now, like,
they still in the red or yellow phase, something.
I don't know.
I ain't check.
I don't know.
But I don't
But
plan on
so
going.
PA is putting everybody on like a quarantine if they leave the state. So now I have to like look into this one job that I booked and see how I can low key postpone it, because the list keeps going up for states that they don't want us to visit. And then it's like, if we visit that state, they want us to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So like they just added Delaware. I'm pretty sure New York is still on there. Like I have to look at the list and see what's been updated and added and removed.
I'll have to check that out too, because I didn't know.
Even my one, right. They've already said like stay away from like certain beaches. Because I think Rehoboth Beach, everybody that went to that beach the one weekend had to get tested. Like there. Girl.
I haven't. See, that's why I don't go to beaches. I haven't went nowhere, you know?
I have.
Sure.
My thing is, I don't like American beaches, so it's not hard to stay away from them. But I did go because I just wanted some sun. I just wanted to hear the ocean, but I didn't get anywhere near the water, and I didn't.
You should turn on your YouTube, put in ocean sounds.
No, I know a pretty isolated one. Like, nah, I know a pretty isolated one where like the people that were there were legit like fishing and doing their own thing in their trucks. So none of us were out and about like chilling and playing on the beach, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody was just kind of there in their own zone, spaced out. Like when I see pictures of other people in those like news videos of other beaches, I'm like, what are they doing? This is why I like private beaches, because what are you doing?
Yeah, that's too much, and it's too many people, and it's just too much going on, and you don't even y'all, and people really don't know how they spread. They still really don't know.
They know. They know. It's exactly what they're out there doing. They're not wearing masks. They're not protecting themselves. They're not washing their hands. People are trifling. It's very simple. It's spreading just how everything spreads. Like people are trifling.
Girl. All right, so we're gonna get into these topics because I want. It's a lot of information that I want from you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So first, we're gonna go into healthy eating. You're a pescatarian.
Pescatarian, yes. That's my girl, Karen.
So,
hi, Karen. But yes, I'm pescatarian. So that means I'm pretty much a vegetarian that eats fish and occasionally like dairy or egg products.
Dairy, so occasionally dairy and egg products.
For me, my personal diet, yes. Like a lot of I can't explain the diet for everyone else, and that's how I'll just start off talking about diets. Like when I say diet, people look at my physique and automatically go like, you don't need to diet. And it's like, or you can learn what that means. Like, it doesn't mean that I want to lose weight. It means that I'm watching what I do. I'm making sure that the figure I have is the figure that I'm going to keep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know what foods to eat based on the foods that I like. I stopped eating red meat and chicken about 10 years ago, and some meats actually a bit sooner. Like pork, I think I stopped eating or tried to stop eating when I was 10. So it's like, I think I've known since I was a little kid that I wanted to be vegetarian. But the older I got, I was like, I like fish. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be vegetarian when I really like fish. And then when I found out pescatarian was a thing, I was like, oh, that's it. That's me. Right there. That's my category. So.
Well, that's good because I can't, I gotta eat everything.
Yeah, you scoffed at my barbecue the other day, and I didn't appreciate that because my barbecue was
squid or something. What else? What you cooking?
It was grilled octopus, salmon, asparagus. Like I don't know why you have all them faces with your hot dogs and burgers, but my lovely.
If I'm having a barbecue, it is required to have a hot dog. But look. The hot dogs I normally eat either is beef, 100% beef, or turkey, or chicken hot dogs. But they have to go on the grill and they need to be with some hot sauce, not hot sauce.
I was always
barbecue sauce.
Hot dogs and sausages always freaked me out because you gotta like grind up the meat and then cast it. Like, why did you do that? It's not shaped like that. Why did you do that? Just like chicken nuggets. I will always say chicken nuggets just because chickens are not shaped that way. I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. The only sausage I used to eat was like a sauce of the spicy like kielbasa's. Like I don't like sausage. I don't like any of those. And even then, it was not hard to give up. Like meat was not hard for me to give up at all. But when I thought about giving up fish, I like way too much seafood.
Where's it gonna work?
No, I like way too much seafood, and seafood tastes amazing on the grill. So,
so getting back to a healthy healthy eating, because a lot of times it's really not a diet. It's just you being very
It's just
healthy.
a lifestyle. Like, it really is a lifestyle. Like, when people say diet, that's something that you think of with a start and an end.
Yeah,
you know what
losing
I mean?
weight.
Right. You think of it, well, I'm going to do this for this amount of time, and that's it. When you have a real healthy diet, that's your lifestyle. That's something that you're living, breathing, eating every single day. This is your breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like, you have the people that juice religiously every morning. Like, I am trying, but I get lazy. Like, I get so lazy with the juicing because I want it fresh. I'm like, I want my fresh juice. But then you have to go and like cut up all your damn fruit and veggies. And like, man, it's a lot of work.
You gotta prep
it. Buy it.
You gotta prep it. You gotta do like a meal prep.
I was. And then you still got to juice it and then clean the juicer. Like, I have to find a process that works for me. Like, like I've been doing like enough juice in the morning that can last me for a week, so I can get on like a weekly basis. But it's a lifestyle, and you have to be dedicated to it, because it will feel like a chore if you're not dedicated to it. If it's something that you do, it's like you just wake up and do it naturally, you know.
And you know that they say you can, if you can, it's I think the terminology is 30 days. If you can do it for 30 days straight, and it's like a rhythm to it, as far as like you can do every day after that. And that's true, because me getting up and walking every single day with my family, before I was like, okay, I don't feel like doing this every day. But then I was like, after doing it over and over and over again for 30 days straight, we going strong after that. Don't be wrong, we do miss like a day if there's like an appointment or something going on that morning. But I still will walk later on in the later on in the day. Like, even after this, since I didn't walk this morning because I had a meeting, I'm gonna walk later, and I'll make the kids walk. Use that energy. But definitely healthy eating, being mindful what you eat, and it's not about, when I say diet, I don't want people to think, oh, I have to basically starve myself, because you have
not at all.
That will.
See, this is like where people people that see me always have something to say, because when they see me, I'm always eating, and so they're like, "Where's it going? Where's it going?" And it's like, I know that in order to eat the way that I eat, because I do enjoy food, I'm gonna have to counter it with a workout. Like, and I've played with my body so much where it's just like, I know how long I can go without working out before it starts to show. So it's like, I have played those rounds where I'm like, let me see what happens if I skip a week. Let me see what happens if I skip 2 weeks. If I skip 3 weeks, oh, the pudge is coming back. All right, 3 weeks is a little too much. Like, let me get back into
All right.
Like, let me get back into the swing of things. Like, I've played around with it, testing it, just to see what I can get away with. But at the same time, I know what my body and my limits are. So it's like, if I'm going to have a real fun weekend, like if it's I call it holiday season. So from October to January in my family, it is always somebody's birthday or a holiday. Like, I have siblings in October, I'm in November, plus cousins in November, more siblings and cousins in December. Then it's Christmas, Thanksgiving. Then you have New Year's. And we do have like a big New Year's brunch. And then like we tap out with my mom's birthday in January. Like, that's a lot of holidays, dinners, everything. Holiday season. And it's right there when you have to, like, you want to get ready and into anything. But you're still modeling hardcore. So you can't even like go heavy the way that you want to eating. But I'm going to. I'm not saying no to anything that I want to eat. So I have to know, like, I know in the winter I have to up my workouts, especially since I'm also weird with working out. I'm seriously one of the laziest fit people you'll ever see. Like, I love and prefer outdoors. Like, I like being outside. It's just, I'm more motivated outside. It took me working at a gym. And even then, I think I worked at a gym for maybe 2 years before I actually started using it. And that was only because in the winter it gets cold. Yeah. I really don't need to. Like, I really don't need to work out in the gym. Like, I prefer outdoor things. I prefer like a natural workout outside.
If you ever feel stressed, you just go to the gym, get that good workout in, and you straight.
But I live near the river, so I can just go running by the river. You know what I mean? Like, I live right near Kelly Drive, so I can just go through all those trails and do that same, I need this cathartic run near some water and some trees. So it's like, I prefer that.
Yeah.
And then I used to even say, like, I'll casually gain, I call it my winter 15. I will gain my weight in the winter because I'm not running next to the water. It's cold. And I didn't like indoor gyms. I still don't like indoor gyms. And that's where it gets funny with me still working at one. I've always felt like gyms were filthy, which is why I prefer outside. So even with you cleaning and doing everything, I'm still surrounded by other people's sweat. And I'm just like, I don't like it, you know? It took a lot for me to get into gym sweat. And the one thing that did it, which was seriously the most grotesque workout, was kickboxing. If you've ever done MMA, like MMA style kickboxing.
No, but I want to.
You look like you jumped in the pool when you finished that workout. Like you are drenched in your own sweat. If you took a real class, you're drenched in your own sweat, okay? Every single class. Like I got so chiseled doing kickboxing with the trainer that I was working with. Cheesesteak, shout out to Cheesesteak. But it was just like, his workouts were so intense. And I was so sweaty. And you're constantly like punching, kicking, doing something. Like you're like doing all these moves with other people. And like when people sweaty touch me, I'm instantly like recoiling. I'm like, ew. And that class, I had to get over it fast. Like people are touching you all over, and it's just like, this is how you get MRSA. This is how you get ringworm. I actually did get ringworm in that goddamn gym. Like the gloves, that's how I learned very quickly. Buy your own gloves. Like, the gloves gave me ringworm on my hand, and I'm like, I'm an adult. You gave me dirty kid disease.
It's not boxing gloves, right? What kind of gloves are they? Like the ones that go to your hands?
Well, they do have the like MMA ones where you can. It has like the finger wraps or whatever. But I did use the boxing ones just because I still do things with my hands. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't have my hands. When you box, your fingers get super swollen. And I still need my hands dainty for like rings and things, and type of hand modeling. So there were times when I would like box and look at my hands like I'm gonna have to fall back for a couple weeks because my hands are getting real thick. Like, you know? But
okay, well, I learned something. You gotta get your own gloves because you don't want you can catch something. But you somebody
that was what I had to learn right away. Like once I was like, y'all couldn't tell me because I would have purchased gloves. So you know, I have my gloves. I still didn't get wraps, and they were like yelling at me for not getting wraps. But I have like weighted gloves, my gloves. I have the whole nine. I actually need to get another pair because they told me I bought the wrong size. But I bought them because they were the right color.
They said we don't care about the color. They're gonna get jacked up anyway. We need the right size. Okay, right. So pescatarian, a person that only eats seafood.
It's pretty much a vegetarian that eats seafood and dairy, right?
Okay, gotcha. Now let's move along to fitness modeling.
Right.
First of all, no, let's backtrack. I forgot to even ask you, how did you even get into modeling?
How did I?
Yeah.
I feel like I've tried to dabble in it literally my entire life. Like I think I was always into acting, and I always just said to myself, like, acting and modeling goes hand in hand, you know? So I was always acting when I was younger.
I didn't know.
Well, yeah, I was really into acting when I was a kid. Like I was always in drama club. I fell out of it in high school just because, to be completely honest, the storylines were just different. Like I felt like in grade school, our plays had so much depth, so much history, so much passion, and then we get to high school and it's like Grease Lightning. And not to say that I don't like musicals, I love musicals, but when you go from doing like powerful Black plays in grade school, high school just seemed so shallow and empty. I was like, I don't want to do these musicals. And then it was just extra because I lived so far from the school. Like if I missed that little train ride, it was gonna have to be so much extra just getting home after rehearsals. Like I didn't even try in high school. I just waited until college.
Did you grow up in Philly? Did you grow up like you lived in Philly your whole entire life or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What high school did you go to? You didn't go to? Did you go to a creative arts high school or no?
No, I went to a liberal arts high school. So it was college prep, liberal arts. It was Sacred. It's now called Sacred Heart Academy. When I went, it was called Country Day School of the Sacred Heart. A mouthful, right? So now it's called Sacred Heart Academy because we used to call it SHA anyway, and they hated it. We always called it SHA. And like, you're not an academy, blah, blah, blah. And now it's Sacred Heart Academy. So, but yeah, they're a predominantly white school out in the main line. And it was fun. It had its ups and downs like any school. They're actually going through it right now because a lot of the schools on the main line have been getting tagged because, you know, everyone's talking about systemic racism and everything along those lines with Black Lives Matter. So a lot of us Black kids that went to these predominantly white schools have, of course, we have our stories of things that we went through. So we've been putting out videos like this and been tagging our schools like, what say you? Because you put out this nice little we stand with Black lives, but when we came with these issues as students, you overlook them. You fed into the problem. So now we're like it's initiating all these things. Like that can actually just tie into the activism that I'm kind of involved in right now. Like me kind of tagging my high school and some of this old school drama that we face, and then clearly that some of the kids are still facing now. It's led and opened these doors to all these conversations that we couldn't have as kids, you know? So I've actually spoken with the head of school via Zoom, and we're going to have like these little monthly meetings to pretty much talk about what the school needs to do moving forward to actively be anti-racist. And then it kind of like we've kind of had to pose that question to them. Like, did you ever realize, or did you even notice that you don't have Black alumni on the board? None of us have come back. Like, did you even notice and think to ask why none of the Black alumni are coming back? And then like, even as Black alumni, we had to sit there, because me reaching out on like I said, it was a page on Instagram that like shouted out all the schools and put them on blast. But me kind of being on that page, we're like finding other alumni from our school. So I'm finding these people that graduated after me, and she said something that stuck. She's like, you know, I kind of wish we knew about you guys. And it's like, it made me feel bad because I know the same exact feeling. But at the same time, we all do it. It's like we clutch on to each other in school because it is our safety net. It's like, you know what I'm saying. You understand my voice. You understand like the experiences that I'm having. But then once you graduate, it's like, you know, damn well they're not coming back. You know, it's like they're still going to keep in touch with you, but you know they're not coming back to the school. So it's like, you kind of leave your little sisters behind. Like those that were in that 4-year circle with you, know you, and we have our little group. But then we leave our other sisters there, and they're kind of forming their own groups and doing the same thing. So the fact that it was like, I wish I had known people that graduated from like the class of 84 and the class of 91. Like we didn't know any of those people. And then she's saying the same thing. Like she had written, I think one of them had written a story, because all the stories are posted anonymously. And they were talking about like a Black History Assembly. And she goes, they had their first one in 2014. I was like, that wasn't the first one. It's just they failed in all the other ones. Like that wasn't the first. But the fact that that's what they thought in 2014, it was like, wow, we really have no presence in that school to even know that we were there. Because like we're there. And then like our high school, because it's so small, like my graduating class, I think to date is still the biggest class with 56 girls. All the other classes like graduated with 25 or 24. Like it's a very, very small Catholic all girls school.
Yeah.
And like every class picture, like they'll take a picture of us in our graduation like baccalaureate gowns. So we're in all white. It's like the standard. You wear your white gown, you're graduating into the world, blah blah blah. So we all have our pictures in the white gown, like in the school mansion. So they hang up all the pictures. So every year is there. And like I know for a fact I did it, so I know other Black girls were doing it too. Like we're going in, like where are the Black girls in this class? Like we're the ones in this class. I know we're going looking for them. How many are in each class? You know what I mean? Yeah. But like like I said, just doing that and just that online activism, because activism is different now compared to what it was in the 60s. Like you could do a lot of it online. Like you can send you can sign a petition like that. Boom, that's your part. Sign a petition, donate money, send an email, have a Zoom meeting, like all these different things. And then of course, actually protesting, the old school protesting out there with your picket signs and your everything, your megaphones, all of it. But like open these doors to have these conversations.
And you said it was a Christian school.
Catholic school, yeah.
Oh, Catholic school. Oh, so you went to
all
a Catholic
school. I went to Catholic school my entire life, from first grade through college.
Oh. We'll talk about that offline.
Okay.
I've always went to public schools. Like every single school was public school, and most of my schools were predominantly Black.
See, for me,
that's why when you said the whole play and Grease Lightning, we didn't have to worry about that. We was gonna have what we wanted to have.
My grade school was predominantly Black and proud and Black, and I didn't realize just how proud we were until I got to high school. I get to high school and it was shell shock for me. Like, not to say that I wasn't in white spaces before, because of like all the advanced programs that I was in grade school. We used to get bussed out to white schools anyway. Like we used to get bussed out to Rosemont for different programs, computer programs, and all this other like STEM programs and shit that I was in. And so I was used to being in those spaces, but it wasn't all day, every day for 4 years, you know, like it was, after school, Tuesdays and Thursdays, like we have to do extra hours of school because it was advanced placement. But anyway, high school was just culture shock, because here we are,
Mm-hmm.
2 girls. That my freshman year was only 2 of us, and then a sophomore, this girl Tiara.
Wow.
So we had 3 girls out of 56. But freshman year, we actually started off at 60, and there were 2 black girls, me and my girl Tamara. That
Why
was
do you
my
think?
class.
But why do you think it's just such a limit on?
That's just what it is. Like on the main line, those schools are like that. So it's like you have these predominantly white schools, you have other minorities there, but they really are a minority in number. Like you'll have black being the second largest population. Depending on the culture of the school, you'll see Asian of both like Indian and like Asian, typical Asian persuasion, you know?
Yeah.
You see those type of minorities and maybe Hispanic. Like when I think of my high school, I really don't think we had Spanish girls. Like I'm trying to think if we did. It's like I don't think I remember any Spanish girls. Actually, I'm lying. Shayna and Sky were mixed, so they were black and Spanish. But it's just like your minorities were rare. The Asian girls, especially when I went. Now this is going to sound insensitive, so I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. I had one Asian girl in my class, but she was adopted by a white family.
Okay.
So if you can get where I'm trying to go with that story, it's like, yes, you're Asian, but you have no representation of your own culture. You know what I mean? Like you're growing up with a white family. So it's like you're there as a visual representative, but culture-wise, you're not representing.
Yeah, unless you're being taught in the house, like in her household, like they made it like important for her to know more about her history.
Right. It would be along those lines. Like in high school, and again, I don't know her life to know how much she was taught at home. I can just go off of my experiences with her. And I'm like, you know much about your country. You know as much about it as I do. Like we're learning the same stuff, you know? So it's like, I think she was adopted. Maybe she was like 2 or 3. So it's like, yeah, you count, but you don't type of thing. And I know that that's rude to say, but it's like, that's not the culture that you're going to know off the hand like you would the culture you're growing up in.
Yeah,
if we're just going to be honest. But other minorities aren't really there. And then like you can get into the whole discussion of like white flight and all this other stuff of when the schools were getting too urban or too mixed and diverse. They started fleeing further and further from the city. So that way the only students they were getting were the white students in the area. So of course, you know, like, I don't know. It's like I said, the world is having that discussion of systemic racism. That's how far back it goes and how deep it stems. So unfortunately, my alma mater is not guilt-free in the situation. Like they are right along in the mix because they started off like before they moved to, well, you don't know my area. So in Philly, you know, you have like you have the city, you know, the different parts, northwest, south, you have the different parts, and then you have like those little outskirts that are the burbs. So you know how you have like people from like Villanova, if you ever heard like Villanova University, they're like, I'm from Philly. And people from Philly like, you are not from Philly, you live in
PA.
Villanova.
That's more PA. That's not really Philly.
And even like, you know
Temple's Philly.
But even then, the kids that are
Philly too.
Exactly. But even you know, Villanova is not Philly. But you'll get people from Villanova like, Philly! And it's like, you're from Villanova, you don't count. You know? So it's like, but before... Exactly. But before my school moved to Bryn Mawr, which is out pretty much in that area, like the outskirts of Philly, before they moved to that area, they were in Philly. They were in West Philly in Overbrook. And then, you know, it's West Philly. So they moved. Of course, to get a bigger campus, but you moved.
All right, so we're going to go back into, because I'm looking at the time, I want to make sure we get everything I want to talk about.
Definitely stop.
All right, so fitness modeling. How did you get into that? Because we talked about how you got into modeling, and that was because you
I was acting first, right?
Yeah, acting first, and just led into modeling.
Kind of like, I think my first real modeling job was with my cousin. She had a clothing line called Lady Couture. And she pretty much casted me when I was around 17, 18.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I was 17. She casted me for one of her jobs, and it was pretty cool. Like, we were in Lincoln, like we were in this park around Lincoln Drive, and we're like modeling all these clothes, and we're in the park, and that whole experience was pretty wild to me, because even then, that's when I had to learn right away that sometimes you got to get dressed on the fly. So we're like getting dressed outside, and I'm like, this is modeling. Like, I kind of like this crazy hustle and bustle of it all, you know? Like, it was pretty cool. But that job ended up technically being my first international job. Like, even though we shot it in Philly, she took it to Antigua.
Okay.
And the boutique was in Antigua, so like my photos were up in her store. They're like huge blown up photos, and then the billboard out there. Like, my dad lives out there, so he took a picture of this huge billboard. It was huge. This billboard was monstrous. It was monstrous, and I was like, "Damn, I'm not even down here to see it." But my dad like took all these pictures. Like, it was crazy. So that was like my first job before I even got to college, and I was like, right. I'm sitting there with feeling myself like, I'm an international model. I'm 17, like, yay, maybe, you know, like. So that's how that started, and then fitness just came into it because of my physique. Like, I played tennis in college. I played tennis on and off growing up. You know, I ran track in high school. So it's like you automatically get that cut and that build. So then when you're trying to put on the dress, and that's part of my problem too, and some of it is hard. Like, as much as I love runway modeling, they still want you sample size. And here my shoulders are cutting into the spaghetti straps. Like, they were like trying to put me in these little thin strap dresses, and I was like, you may not even want to attempt that. Like, I feel like I may pop your dress. And I'm like, no, you're thin enough. And then you put it on, and it's like, my shoulders are just jacked in it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I do box.
So you maybe you should have just put the size a little bit bigger up top for me.
No, I had, like, when I started modeling, especially when I got signed, I had to stop boxing. Like, I had to stop working my top, because I was getting super broad in my shoulders. And even though my waist was getting really chiseled and I was down to like 3, my top was just like, like spaghetti straps. Like, spaghetti straps to this day were like big in here. And then I would have to like adjust how I was standing, especially if I was walking in, because I was like, I'm going to pop this with my shoulders if I don't like walk like a lady. So it was just like, I had to work it out. It was
so as far as fitness model is concerned, is that something you are more focused on now? Or because you know how certain seasons there's like, okay, I want to do this, and then I want to do this, and I want to do this, or I want to do it all. Are you more focused now on fitness than anything, or does it really matter?
Yes and no. It's like I said, after like we were in quarantine, I had a lot of time to think about where I'm going forward and if I want to keep with modeling. You know, like, if I have to question my passion for it, I had to really start saying, like, is your passion still in it? Like, do you still have love for it? Now, when it comes to fitness, I do. I still have a really weird obsession with the body itself. Like, I love seeing what the body can do when you work those muscles. Like, I like seeing how much you can manipulate the body. So with fitness modeling, yes, like, I became brand ambassador for this local Black-owned brand, Umi. So Umi Athletic, right. So I don't know if you saw some of those photos.
Yes, I did.
Photos, right. But Umi Athletic is local. So it was just like, I liked the route of his line. Like, I liked those clothes. It was a different fitness line for me. Like, the design of it is much different from anything you've seen. Like, it has these specific cutouts for your phone. Like, a lot of the cutouts are always on the side on other people's fitness, but like, he has a sports bra where the phone can technically fit here. So that way, if you're running with it, it's right here. You don't have to worry about it potentially slipping out of a deep pocket, depending on how fast you run. Same thing with your pants. Like, instead of having his on the side, he has like a kind of like a kangaroo pouch type fit front where it slips right in, and like all of that. So he thought all of that out. It's like sweat proof, wick proof. So I like that line. And even when I think about like going back into modeling, I'm like, I know I'm going to stay with fitness, because even if it comes down to we have to still do type of a social quarantine type of shoot, you never have to get close to me to adjust me with something fitness wise. Like, that's working out and taking pictures, you know? All I do is control my face. So that's not something where you would have to ever adjust me or adjust the clothes unless the brand isn't showing. And when it's fitness, it's not like it's something dangling off the clothes. Like, that's just me turning my body. And fitness, like, oh, and please don't think fitness modeling is sweet. Fitness modeling is so difficult, and people don't realize how strong your core actually has to be. Like, some of the best photos, like I'll give you an example. So there was one where he wanted us to like pose with a medicine ball. Now in my head, I'm looking at the balls. I'm like, all right, cool, little 5-pound medicine ball. Like, that's gonna be all right. Like, what's 15-pound balls? It was a 15-pound ball, and if you know how modeling, 15 pounds. I don't know why either. It was like you couldn't find the 5-pound one. Like, they can't read the pounds on the ball. Like, we don't have to have a real heavy ball. This could have been a paper ball, and nobody would have known the difference.
Nope.
No, he had a real 15-pound medicine ball, and he goes, "I want your muscles to really show." And I'm like, "What? So you mean you want me to really work?" So like, I'm holding this one pose, right, and he's legit making me hold it until my body starts like shaking, and I'm like, "When are you going to take this?" And he goes, "Fix face," and I'm like, but once I saw the picture, like, everything is flexed. But it was on, bro. If you saw how long, like, me and the male model were out there shaking, like, holding everything, like, take the picture because my face still has to be pretty in this, bro. Like, like, holding planks, holding medicine balls. Like, no, you have to hold the pose, and your core better be strong.
Yes.
Especially with some of my art photos. Like, even with some of my art photos, fitness modeling just had to go hand in hand, because there was one photo where I had to hold a bridge. Now, mind you, I hadn't done a bridge since I was maybe 11 years old. And here he is asking me to do one a good 15, 20 years later. And I'm like, so a bridge? So now I'm like, all right, it's been a minute since I've done this. So I get into the stretch, and I'm like, 5 seconds is all I got. I can only hold this pose for 5 seconds. And I really had to sit there and practice. And you already know, once you work in the muscles, you burning them out. And I had to practice it just to get up, just to be ready for the daggone photo. But the photo was dope. But just
I looked at all your photos, and I even looked at his page because you tagged him in one of the in some of your photos. So I was like, okay, and your whole, like, everything's you. You didn't notice everything's Aiesha on that.
I saw.
That's really good. You did an excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was like, okay, because I want to get into fitness more.
I already told you, I was surprised that you weren't already in fitness. Like, when I saw your body, and then with your story, the way that you can promote yourself, I'm like, you are a mother with a body that is snatched. Like, I am still working to get abs that you have, and you've already stretched your stomach out multiple times. Like, what? Like, what?
And my abs is popping now from all this work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, your physique is there. So the fact that our former agency didn't even pimp you and put you out there for fitness, it always blew my mind.
Look, so the thing is, now we know. That's one thing about when it pertains to modeling. Know what you want to do.
Here's the thing. That's what their issue was with me. Like, you and Terry touched on it before. Like, they really, in modeling, and I know this is something that one of my photographers told me a while ago. My photographers were like, sometimes you do, and it's no offense to any type of model, but one of my photographers that I got close with, he was like, sometimes you do have to be stupid to model, and you're not stupid enough. And I'm just like, I need things done a certain way. Like, I am very particular, and that doesn't stop when I'm modeling, but you already know when you're modeling, you need a zip lip. Like, you have to be quiet. So a little mom look, but you have to be quiet. You're not allowed to have an opinion on set. You're not allowed to direct anything. And sometimes when you're there and you see things going awry, I'm like, well, if I don't speak up, it won't get up. So it's like, finding that line for me is always a fine line. Yeah. And there are times where I will say no and walk out of a job where I know other models will sit there and stay in the situation. And it's like, I will gladly walk out of a job. I don't care whose feelings are hurt. Like, this is not up to par, and I'm not gonna subject my talent to something that's not up to what I'm doing. Now,
and you are good for that. You are good for sticking to your guns.
Because if it's not for me, it's not for me. I'm not going to, because if I sit there and try to force myself to do it, you already can tell by my whole demeanor. As much as I'm an actress, I'm not going to act through that. You're going to see in my whole face, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be there. I am upset. Like, I can't hide that. So I take myself out of the situation before I can be seen unprofessionally. It's like, you know what? this is not for me. I appreciate the opportunity. Light love to you all. And I scoot right on out the door because it's not for me. I've walked into plenty of situations where I'm like, oh no, I don't know what scam this was, but not for me. And I leave. And then the agency,
I don't know what scam that was.
but it's like you said, know what you want and know what type of model you are. Like when the agency found me, they found me. You know what I mean? Like they found me on a runway. They found me based on one of my runway photos. And then we're like, yeah, we want you to be commercial. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stick with runway. Because that's what I thought you were doing to me. I thought you were giving me that opportunity to get those castings that say agency only. Because half the time I'm coming in as freelance and they're like, skirt, agency only. That's what I need you for. What do you really want me for? Because I don't want to do commercial. So let's find another avenue. And they were like, well, we want exclusive rights. No. I said that right off the gate. So when people said yes to that, I was actually amazed. I was like, y'all said yes to that? They were like, we want no. I was like, you found me as a freelance model. I was like, I've been doing this on my own for quite some time. Like, I'm not saying I know everything. Clearly, I need agency help because I wouldn't be talking to you if I didn't want your help. But I'm not giving you all my rights, all my jobs. Like that, they literally said, like, any person that comes to you, send them to us.
Hey, Terry.
I'll send some of these to you. Hey. It was like, I'll send some to you, but I'm not giving you all my clients. Like, I found these on my own. And even then, a little trial run, I sent 2 clients over and they stole those clients from me. Like, legit, did a little shady business, took me off a job that I brought to them and put 2 other models in. And I was just like, okay, strike 1 for the agency because what are you doing? But they was right then and there. I was like, I'm keeping my own work. Just like when they want to control your social media, like I know what to say yes and no to. Just because I was, like I said, I've been doing it on my own and I had to take some hard lessons on my own. Like there were times when I traveled without getting a deposit first, so ended up blowing money or like investing more into the job than the job invested in me. And once I did that, and once I saw that I was doing that, I was like, oh, that's a terrible cycle. Stop, start over.
Yeah.
That's the one mistake I make when I model. Like, if I feel like I'm messing up, I'll stop completely, pull all the way back, and then try to start over from scratch. And it's like, no, just take that hit and keep going. Like, stop falling and quitting. Like, take the hit and keep going. So that's why it's been on and off for me for so long. But even then, I learn and I come back stronger. Like, yes to this, no to that. That's not my lane. I can do that. And even then, some of the projects that I've worked with, I still very much like creative artists. Like you get those photographers and creative set designers that are out there that are mimicking what they've already seen. And it's like, when are you going to try to do something that's yours? Don't bring me a concept that I did in 2012. I don't need to do this concept again. Like, I did this with a different photographer when it was relevant in 2012. Why are you bringing this to me again? This isn't new. This isn't creative. This isn't exciting. Like, if you're coming to me like, I have a new creative excitement, I better not see it anywhere else online since you just said it was new. That's just how I feel. And then you get that vibe. A lot of models don't listen to their own gut when it comes to the jobs and things that they're offered. Listen to your gut. If that does not feel like something for you, it's not for you.
Yeah. I think the problem is we're gonna go over, if you don't mind. Just like, you know,
just say it.
We're gonna do a part 2. So when that time comes, we're gonna hang up. I mean, you know what I mean. And we're gonna go back on.
Okay.
But because there's still a lot that I want to talk to you about. But so I think a lot of times models are afraid, especially when in the beginning, to actually speak up and say what they don't want to do because they automatically assume that I have to do this and not understanding that you have power to say no. And I know for me, that was definitely because I didn't know. I was brand new. Even though I was in my upper 20s, I still didn't know, you know, that, oh, no, Catrice, you can say no to the particular job. You don't have to actually do that particular job. So I think for a lot of people, they don't understand that. And then the fact of when you said that even though you saw something wrong because you are seasoned, you know what's right and what's wrong when it comes to doing a particular job, that you are able to be like, okay, you know, this is not for me. And professionally say and walk away from it. Versus some models, they don't understand that. I know from when I was talking to somebody who was in the modeling business and, you know, people that do the hiring and everything else, she told me, she was like, Catrice, when it comes to the reason why a lot of models basically you have so many models that come in that are brand new and doing all these jobs for free. So when they do stuff for free, guess what? That looks bad on us, because then we're not the ones that won't refuse to do something for free. They're like, okay, well, y'all want to do it for free? I'll go.
I'm gonna look right. I'm gonna look just as stuck up. I look as stuck up as anybody. Ask how many of them don't want to work with me in the city because I've told them no trade force. And I'm just like, you see what I'm capable of. Why do you want that for free? Especially when you're not even like, oh, can I borrow you for an hour for a test or something? Like, no, you want my whole day for free.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Time is money.
Yeah.
And the fact that if it was a white model, because I'm just going to be completely honest, you would pay them. You wouldn't even ask them to come for free. You would go straight to the agency and have to take, unless they're new to the agency and it's suckered off as a test, you would have to pay them. Like, we can both talk on an experience where we were asked to coach models, but those models got paid for a show that they wanted us in. Like, no.
Yeah.
Stop taking advantage of black models. A whole other avenue. Like, a whole other avenue. This city is wicked, and they wonder why I don't want to model in it. They're like, you don't like modeling in Philly? Not really. Not really.
I just feel like everybody, you should definitely, if you're providing a service, you should get paid for providing that service, especially if I'm being very professional and handling my business, doing what
we all have bills to pay. And there are times when a barter system is not that far off. Like, I have actually gotten elevated from some barter trade for jobs. You know what I mean? Like, but that's when I know that job is going to take me where I need it to go. It's like, there was a job where I didn't get paid for it, but it was published in a magazine. You know what I mean? Like, it got published in Philly magazine. And then because of how well it did in Philly magazine, it got published again the next month as a republished story. So there were 2 months in Philly magazine circulating around on a free thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, as much as I wanted to say no to that job, when they said where it was getting published, I'm like, you know what?
I'll take it.
I'll take it. And then it wasn't even just that 1 month. It was 1 month, the cover. And then the second month, it got recirculated again because it was a repeat story. So sometimes you have to know which jobs to say yes and no to. It's like, yeah, I didn't get cash money, but that picture went everywhere. It's Philadelphia magazine. That went everywhere for 2 months.
And you never know who's going to see it, where you can get your next job from.
But that's literally what's been happening. That's what's been happening with my work. Like, when I first started, because I think I really started taking it seriously in 2012, a lot of my work was going international. And that was not really to my knowledge. So it was just like, I was getting followers from Italy, from Switzerland, from England. Like, I'm getting all these different international followers. And I'm like, how did y'all even find me? And then they're like tagging me and where they've seen my work. And I'm like, oh, shit, that is a coffee shop in Australia. Like,
see, there's a coffee shop in Australia.
Somebody in Australia did a big purchase of one of my photos, like, through the photographer. And they did this custom frame, all this stuff, and it's hanging in their coffee shop, like, as wall art in their shop. And I'm just like,
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? But it's gathering and getting all this circulation. So I'm getting all these different connects. We're technically, like, say right now, and that's why it kind of angered me with the former agency when they, like, legit told me to my face, oh, we're not taking you international. Wow. That's how I started.
Wow, they told you that?
Yeah, because that's when she was pimping that story that she wanted to retire. Remember, she was like, I'm going to retire soon. I'm giving away the business. I don't want to take on too many, like, foreign jobs when I know I'm going to stay local, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but you asked me what my goals are, and those are what my goals are. So if we're not aligned now, why am I staying? You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what we would say in our meetings. I'm like, if we're not even aligned now, what do you really want with me? Like, I don't think you can promote me. Like, we don't want the same things for my modeling.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had all these connects that I'm building overseas. And I'm like, if I can get jobs over there, like, I know that I would still be able to work over there because I have people lined up that want to work with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, there are people there that still want to shoot with me. And I'm like, how do I get myself over there? Because I still have trust issues, just me, myself, and I. So I'm like, me, myself, and I'm doing everything by myself. I'm keeping everything to myself. So it's like, I'm not even like, I don't have that confidence where I'm sharing this information. Like, all right, do you think this is a good connect? Do you think this is good? Like, do you think I'm gonna get chopped up if I fly over there? So a lot of things I'm saying no to but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be me doing it by myself.
Get chopped up if I fly over there?
Because if I take that much of a risk, because even with me, like, oh, I can do a job in DC really fast and come back, or a job in New York and come back. I'm still taking these risks as a single model, doing all these things on my own, this traveling model. Internationally, I've done small things where I can get back in time. But when I think of international things, like, no.
All right, so we're gonna end
And
this
then come
one
back.
and we're gonna come back with part 2 with Aiesha Grierson.
Okay.
When models talk. All right, darling.
Everybody come back. Come back and tell
yes,
us, come on.
Please do.
Right.
Okay.